Hi everyone, it is Stacy here with Healthy for Life. I am sorry that this video, I'm going to turn this the other way here. This is going to look a little darker and apparently I can't rotate it when it's live. I'm sorry I am late. I wanted to be live a little bit earlier, almost 20 some minutes earlier today, but I am having computer problems. I think I have really injured my laptop. It is literally, I've been trying for about 20 minutes to get on to Facebook and it's just spinning because the lighting, everything is much better and I'm there. Maybe that's a little bit better as I'm moving this. I'm trying to use my laptop to prep pop this up here, prep it up, whatever, brain fog. So I just wanted to do a little something different today. I come on and do the lives and do a quick, few tips on something I want to let you know about. But today there's so much going on in the world. There's so much uncertainty and it's affecting people a lot of ways. And, a month ago, I would have never in a million years thought that I would be excited to find toilet paper at my local grocery store or a local Target or Walmart or something. Never would have crossed my mind. And then, it's things like that. And I want you to list below, comment below, and tell me, give me a yellow heart if you're doing okay. Give me a blue heart if you're really kind of down, maybe want someone to talk to. Give me a purple heart if you're just dealing with it, and you're hanging in there, you're trying to stay as positive as possible, and put that in the comments below. If you're watching this, I know many of you, if you're still working right now and you're not affected by your industry isn't affected by this, then and you're watching the replay, just hit #replay and let me know that. And I want to, before I get too far into this, first I just want to give a big shout out and a virtual hug to everyone that is on the front lines right now. Our nurses, our doctors, our respiratory therapists, people that are working in retail stores, police, firefighters. Of course, the military is always on the front lines for any certain crisis. So, I know a lot of nurses and I've heard, kind of what they're dealing with at the hospitals, and it's a scary thing. And I also, of course, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm going live here, but I see someone has popped in, and for some reason on my phone as well, I can't tell, who's here and who's not. So if you want to just put a comment and just say hi and let me know who you are, then I will know. But hopefully I'll be able at some point to see. Everything's different from my phone, and I have a very, very old phone. My phone is probably about 4 years old, and I need a new one desperately because things just don't work right on it, and it's not the best. As you can see, the coloring on here is not very good. I don't have a good camera or good video. So anyway, I want to let you know a little bit about, last week I did not go live. We had a lot going on last week, so I skipped it for the week. And what happened last week was that my husband was pretty much blindsided with a furlough. He is a manager in his department, and he was in the process. He knew he had to furlough an analyst and a developer, and he wasn't looking forward to it, not with everything that's going on. Had no idea he was also on the furlough list. So he is furloughed without pay for at least 60 days, but he's in the dental industry. They sell different x-ray machines and different things like that, and a scheduling software to dentist offices, and of course they're closed. So I think it's going to take them a little bit of time to recover before that's all. So if he comes back to work, I'm anticipating that it's going to be a little bit longer than 60 days. Now, thankfully, we didn't lose our benefits, so we do have insurance. Of course, the company pays their part, we pay ours, and of course they filed unemployment for him as well. And I know we're like many, many people across this country that are not working right now. And of course, we're waiting for the unemployment check now. We're waiting for the stimulus checks coming from the government, and just to help us survive right now. And we're also been dealing with a family illness that my husband has. Close family member. It's not COVID related by any means, but we've been dealing with that over this past week, and just different things. And I also would have never guessed, a month ago that we would be also homeschooling our kids as well as working during the day, which of course is always interesting. You're always seeing a lot of stories on Facebook, and some things are funny about what they're posting about their experiences with homeschooling their kids. Of course, I'm not a teacher, but I tell you what, I've always thought our teachers were underpaid, and I think that should be a six-figure position for any teacher out there. So, very much underpaid to do what you do every day. And like I said, just let me know in the comments where you're at, which heart, the yellow, the blue, or the purple heart. I would say overall, my overall attitude, even though it's been rough, is purple, because I am trying to stay as positive as possible. I am not watching the news. I don't advise you to watch the news, because I feel like most, your ABC, CBS, Fox News, CNN, any of them, try to tell you things to scare you. And I'm getting my information. I want to be informed. I don't want to be frightened, by things that are going on. And so I get my news from the CDC.org or the WHO, which is the World Health Organization. Those are the two ones that I trust. I don't go to anything else. I actually had one of my best friends, childhood friends, she sent me a Facebook message this week, and she said, "Are you okay? I heard 65 people died today." And I kind of laugh, and I'm like, yes, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. I'm like, I don't know what she was looking at. Obviously, it was some kind of false news. And I said, and I referred her to, I said, go to cdc.org or go, the WHO, and, get your information from there, because no, I don't think there's been anything like that go on. So, I told her I was okay. And then, we got into a discussion about how, I said, don't worry. I said, I have not, this whole generation, or this whole thing, I have not panicked when they said, the first day that school was being canceled, before it was canceled for the whole year, and ran out to the stores or anything like that. I heard from when I did make it to the store that weekend that it was worse than Black Friday, that there were 3-hour lines, and I'm like, I couldn't believe everybody was panicking. And that's when all the toilet paper ran out, and the sanitizing wipes, and hand sanitizer, hand soap. I mean, you could buy anything after mid-March here where I live in Georgia. So, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why are you panicking when we live in a society today that we have Amazon? Amazon's not going anywhere. You can get stuff delivered to you. The whole government's not shutting down. So I've been reading articles about people in my generation, which I'm Generation X, okay? And so teenager in the 80s, and give me a shout out if you're also a Generation Xer, because apparently we have been the kind of the red-headed stepchild of the many generations, but now we're getting some love all of a sudden, because we are the ones that have not been the ones panicking. It's been kind of the other generations that are out there panicking and thinking, it's gloom and doom. They're not going to have enough food. They're obviously not going to have enough toilet paper to get them through however long this lasts. I'm like, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. So, anyway, like I said, I've been seeing some articles, and we're finally getting some love about that, because we are not panicking. What else do I want to say here? I am a little bit brain foggy, because everything's been going on with us over the past week, especially. And 2 weeks ago, when I did a Facebook Live about how to boost your immunity, the number one thing is to make sure that you're getting enough sleep. And I know, just for me and my personal experience, hey, I see Stephanie's on here. I'm getting to see that people are on. Stephanie, hi, and appreciate what you're doing out there. I know you're a nurse, and let me know how things are going for you out in Indiana And I don't know if you're at a particular hospital or more of a doctor's office right now, but I know you're out there in the front line. So thank you for what you're doing right now. I know you're under a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. What was I saying? Now I got lost in train of thought. Oh, sleep. So, so anyway, I like to get 7 hours to feel like I'm, can function. I don't have the brain fog and all that. But I have been getting to sleep. Of course, I'm a night owl. All of us in this house are just night owls. And so I'll be up later, probably right till midnight. Get to sleep, no problem. And then wake up, and it might be 3 in the morning, might be 5 in the morning. And I just lay there. I'm not laying there worrying about anything. I'm just kind of thinking about, what do I should I do today? Or I start thinking maybe I should start working or something. So I don't know. But I'm not worrying about the situation. And then sometimes I'm woke up by my teenager, or it could be either one of my girls. They're coming downstairs for yet another meal. Sometimes 2 in the morning, sometimes 3, because we are all so off schedule. And I am like one of the most scheduled people. I mean, I like usually work out at the same time every day, eat lunch the same time every day, we eat dinner pretty much the same time every day, and it's just, we don't even know what day of week it is anymore. Matter of fact, Adriana, that's my 11-year-old, she just said a few minutes ago, she goes, isn't it Saturday? And she thought Easter was tomorrow. I said, no, no, this is Friday. So, I mean, that's just the way it's been. And so we're just surviving like everybody else. But one thing I was going to mention was, with having a family of 4 here, and we're not usually this together because we're running all the time, just running. And it's weird not having the practices for soccer and the practice for lacrosse or the games. And I really, I used to complain if I had to get up at 5 a.m. and go to some kind of tournament or some kind of game. Maybe we had to drive an hour and a half or more for a 1-hour game, and if I had to get up that early before dawn on a Saturday or Sunday to go, but I'm not going to complain. I'm like, I'm not complaining anymore because I miss all the people that were always there, all the other moms, the soccer moms and dads, and lacrosse moms and dads, and everything that, it's fun when you're watching the games, and the kids are missing playing. They can't wait to go back to school, which, a month ago too. Never would have thought they were upset when school was canceled last week for the rest of the school year. And I thought, well, didn't think I'd see that. But they're ready. I think the first day back to school this next year, they're gonna be up before we're up, and they're probably gonna be ready. They're gonna be just running out the door, ready to go to school. And that I got a video of that. So anyway, what else to tell you here? A couple of funny things with being, in close quarters with your family all this time. Only one little bit of drama with a teenager, Alexandra. I've only been going to the store once a week. Now this past week, because we're supposed to peak here, that's what the experts were saying, we're supposed to peak here with the virus on tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. See, I'm getting my days confused. On Sunday. So, since they're supposed to peak then, I went ahead and bought groceries this past weekend to last a full 2.5 weeks. And I could probably, if need be, if I don't think it's safe really to be going to the grocery stores yet, I can squeeze that probably just a little bit more. I've incorporated some new meals in there just for some variety. Of course, the standard. My kids love tacos, so that's always, every other week, that's on our menu. So I had that on there to have, and I mean, if I needed to, I could stretch out what we had. I could get real creative with stuff. Google something and find a new recipe, anything. So, doing that, and got home from the store, so I'm kind of depressed. So let me go back to where I was getting ready to go. Got back from the store, and it's later that afternoon, and my daughter wanted some pink hair dye. I'm like, I know she's bored. She'd been here for a few weeks at that point. And I said, no, it's not essential for you to have some pink hair dye. I said, and if you would have told me, you gave me your list before you went to the store, I would have picked you something up, and, no problem. So she got mad. She got real mad because she thought that was really important. And of course, we hear the, I hate you, and run up the room, shut the door. That girl did not talk to us for 2 days. 2 days she didn't talk to us. We just let her be. Let her be. She just kind of sequestered herself to her room, jamming to her music all the time. Well, we hear that all the time. That's kind of how she's dealing with her stress. She's like her mom in that respect. I've always loved music, and from I can remember when I was just a little girl, music has always calmed my anxiety. So she's like me, but she may be deaf by the time she's 20, but she's up there jamming every single day. And I hear her in her room, she'll be talking to her friends. At least they have FaceTime and, can FaceTime their friends, and they can have that social connection. And they're just cackling sometimes, laughing. And, and then the thing that was funny too with her, so when I go to the store this past weekend, I said, give me your list. I always have them text me a list, and I add it to my grocery list before I go to the store. So she gives me her list. And the last thing she requested was a boyfriend. And I didn't find anything at the store for her. No boyfriend at the store. But I thought that was pretty funny. And so, what this is leading to is, as parents, we are concerned it's affecting us one way. Well, how is it affecting our kids? And I think for my personal, kids, they seem to be doing pretty well. I'm pretty proud of how they're handling the situation. I'm not sugarcoating things for them. I'm explaining to them what's happening. None of us have ever experienced anything like this before. Telling them that, you need to be careful with things. Wash your hands more often than I'm sure they ever did before. And, just be careful. And I'm trying not to, put any kind of real fear in them, but they seem to. Alexandra, my 14-year-old, she's like, I'm healthy. It's not going to take me. And that's kind of been my feeling too. Like, if I get it, I feel like I'm healthy enough to fight it, and so that is the hope, right? You're healthy enough to fight it, because this is such a different type of virus than we've ever seen. And, on that note too, it's like our immediate family, my husband and my two girls, all of us are at healthy weights. And by weights, I'm not talking about the number on the scale. I'm talking about our BMI, our body mass index. We're all at healthy weight. We all do not have any chronic illness. You never know if you have an underlying illness, but we don't have any chronic illnesses. No prescription drugs, not a one of us. We're not on a single prescription drug. We exercise, we eat healthy. Most of the time, we're 80-20. We're having our desserts right now. We're all like chocoholics in this family. So, we've had Alexandra, she's been baking brownies, cookies. I made some chocolate chip cookies. She made some Oreo, Oreo cheesecake cookies. I bought her some Oreos when I was at the store last weekend. And Oreos, that's something you never see in my house. I do not buy it for the kids. I'm the one that does the grocery shopping. I don't buy it. But, it's spring break this week where we're at. So she got her Oreos, and she made her Oreo cheesecake cookies out of them. And so, anyway, that's just some of what's been going on around here. And let me know how you are doing, because I really want to know how this is affecting you. I know the whole thing on ABC, they're always saying we're all in this together, and it's true. One thing I was really impressed with my daughter, Adriana. This is my 11-year-old. So last week, just out of the blue, she goes, what can we say is something good out of all of this? Her positive thinking like that impressed me. And I thought, she's looking for the silver lining. Okay. So we thought about it for a few minutes, and I said, well, I know one for you. She always gets so nervous about her milestones test that she has here. It's their end of school test here that we have in Georgia, and they have I think they have the same test in other states as well. But she gets so upset because she wants to do so well on it, and so of course that was canceled week 1. No milestones testing. She was so happy. So I said, well, there you go. There's your silver lining. I know you're not going back to school. You're not playing soccer, and she's really missing soccer. But I said, you don't have to do milestones testing. Just put that as a silver lining. And then when I was doing an outline here for my Facebook Live today, I was, thinking of some more just a few more that you can say out of all of this can be a silver lining. So I would say that in this last month, I've experienced a sense of community that I've never experienced before. Someone invited me to a local community Facebook group where you stayed in there like what the grocery store has. Is it stocked with meats? Do they have toilet paper, or whatever? And so you can kind of pop on there and see, who's been on there, or you can even ask, where's that? And I've done that in that group too. And so that was just created within the past few weeks. But people seem just to be reaching out to people more, even in a time where we're really isolated in our homes. There still is a sense of community and a sense of togetherness, and that is, I think, a real positive thing that's come out of this over the past few weeks, and I think it's going to continue. And I hope that when this all settles and we get this under control, and I know that's going to happen. I'm hoping it happens sooner rather than later, but this is something that I hope does continue. And I was joking with my girls earlier this week, and I said, you guys are so lucky that this didn't happen in like the mid-'80s. Okay, so if I was my daughter's age, 14, that would be 1986. I didn't have cable TV. I don't even know if we had a VCR yet, but I didn't have cable TV. We didn't even have call waiting because my mom wouldn't pay for call waiting. And I thought, well, if this happened back then, I bet that I would not even be going down the street to my friend Jenny's house, where she did have cable, and I could at least watch MTV and HBO. Now, I'd probably just be on the phone talking, but there was no FaceTime, there was no Zoom, there was no, any of that, no internet. So it's at least better now that it's happening with all of this technology. So, there is that connection with people. And, another little piece of silver lining. As of tomorrow, it will be 4 weeks since I had to fill up my gas tank. And I am still only at a half a tank. You can't beat that. The savings in gas and also, wear and tear on your car, miles on your car. And also, not every day we're having better dinner conversations with our girls, but instead of, usually on a busy day if you're getting ready to run to a game or run to practice and you're just getting a quick dinner on the table. Well, now I'm like taking more time because I have my evenings are free, so I have more time to cook, and I like to cook. So we'll have dinner, and the conversations are getting better. Instead of just saying, well, what did you learn anything today? No. Well, they're starting to talk about. They're very forward thinking. I don't know. I get that from me. I don't know. And one saying that my youngest one, she wants to play, and I didn't know this until recently, actually. She wants to play soccer in college, and she was like, well, what's that team, the ladies team that won last year or so? And I'm like, you're talking about the U.S. soccer team? She's like, yeah. She's like, I like to play for them. What do I have to do to do that? I said, well, you're going to have to do some extra camps and things like that, and just try your best. And so I didn't know that she was kind of thinking about that. And then my other daughter, my 14-year-old, she's talking about what she wants. I mean, she doesn't know exactly when she gets out of high school what she wants to do, other than she's talking about maybe going to Kennesaw State's a local college here. She's got her eye on, but she's like, we're watching this podcast in ELA class about it's a crime, a podcast, supposed to be true crime, but it's about someone that is saying that they were convicted, but they're innocent. So she's listening to this podcast, and she's like, I don't think this person's guilty. There's all this evidence. And so she goes, because she's mentioned before she'd like to be an attorney. Well, now she's thinking she might like to be a criminal defense attorney. So I said, oh, okay, well that's fine. And then she's like, I don't know if I want that much school. I could be a real estate agent. I'm like, you could do that too. But I could really, really see her in a courtroom because I've never known such a strong-willed child in my life. And she would, if she needed to get the truth out of somebody, I think she could get the truth out of somebody, put it that way. So my friend Dina, she's criminal defense. So when you hear that, I'm sure she's going to be very happy to know that that's on her short list for maybe what she wants to do when she grows up. So that's kind of interesting. Um, Anything else I want to mention today before I get into my tips? I think that's it. I have rambled on and babbled a bit today. One other kind of bad news that I got just yesterday. Not kinda. I mean, it is. My stepbrother's girlfriend. She found out she was feeling bad a few days. I guess a few days earlier this week, and then she got tested for COVID, and ended up she did test positive for it. So they are, in their house. They're in different rooms, and I guess he's just like leaving meals for her right outside the door. Of course, they're quarantined for the next 14 days while they, see how hopefully she just recovers and mild case, and that's going to be fine. He is really in he has some chronic conditions that puts him in a high risk category. So of course everybody's concerned about him. Stepmom's concerned about him, obviously. And it just really kind of when it's that close, when it hits that close, and you're like, yeah, this is real, this is serious. So there was that. So there's just a lot going on right now. And the one thing I am with this, of course, I'm going to have to try to get on my computer. I think I broke my computer last week. I was putting it up and had plugged it in, and my foot caught the cord. And when my foot caught the cord, my whole thing slammed down onto my hardwood floors. And well, I broke the charger cable on it, and after so it's not been charging unless it's like, I mean, I have it charged, but it's not. It won't hold one, like that's all messed up. But I can't even, like, it's going so slow, and I couldn't even pull up Facebook. But when I'm able to get in there and actually edit the video, I'm going to add a article. It has 15 supplements that can possibly boost your immune system. So those are some of the tips. I'm just going to give 3 out of that article, 3 just to kind of highlight here today as my tips for the week. So the first one is vitamin D, and this one, I have my little notes here, because I'm not, like I said, been about 5 hours of sleep last night, and about consistent the last few nights. So tonight I think I'm just going to crash, but hopefully. So vitamin D actually enhances your white blood cells, which it helps decrease inflammation and increase your immune response. So that's a good one. I know probably most of us here in America, every time I get my labs, I know I'm always short on vitamin D, because where am I sitting? I'm always sitting around at the computer, and I'm not out in the sun all day, so I'm not getting the right amount of vitamin D. But it is an important nutrient to get. And I wanted to say, if you do, look at the article, you incorporate any of these supplements as part of your, just trying to boost your immune system, then just check with your healthcare provider before, because I don't know what prescription medications you may be taking, and there could be some interactions, things like that. And the second one is elderberry, and this one actually has antiviral and antibacterial properties to it, and it can kind of course, there's no testing on COVID yet, but it has been known to help really fight against the upper respiratory infections and strains of the flu. Third one is a mineral called selenium, and the research has shown that it can enhance the antiviral defense against various flu strains as well. So that's my the 3 tips out of the 15 that I will send to you. And what I'll also, one thing I wanted to just announce for this particular live is I have put together, I've got my personal consultation program. It's the Lean for Life program. I've got a special going right now. It's called the Shelter in Place special. And this is going to be, this isn't like a short 2-week thing. This is going to be ongoing through the time when the mandate is lifted and when there's no more social distancing. So it's a condensed program, and I've got I'm doing 2 things. I always offer, of course, the free 30-minute healthy habits strategy session just to talk, see if we're a good fit to work together. And but what I'm doing and adding to this too is I missed this part. Not only is it 40% off, which is a really huge saving. This is a condensed program, 40% off of that, of my 6-month program. And usually it's a 6-month program because it's a program where if you're looking to lose like 20 pounds in a month, that's not the program for you because it's a program to be, just slow and steady weight loss. Change your habits a little bit at a time, step by step, little baby steps, because we all heard the saying, slow and steady wins the race. Well, that's key here. And actually this year is it's a milestone year for me. And 20 years ago, I hit my goal weight and had lost 65 pounds and had maintained it now for 20 years. So it's, I know it hadn't been the best of years, but for me, I'm like, that's a milestone. So I'm proud about that. But in this 3-month program at 40% off, which I'll get to the price here in a second and tell you, how you can pay and all that stuff. But I want to give you the topics. First of all, I'm doing, in case you're just wondering if this is something that would be right for you, if you, with everything going on, if you're thinking, this is time to get healthy. I don't want to have chronic illnesses, or if you have them, type 2 diabetes, for example, you can reverse that. You can, and then, once you get to a certain number, then if your doctor says you can come off your medication, you could come off your medication possibly. So, things like, that, or if you want to prevent the chronic illnesses, this is what I teach people. So I'm also offering a 2-week free trial, so 14-day free trial, and you would get the first session, which the first session is supercharged goal setting. It's the most important one because this is where you're setting all your health goals. The second session, and its sessions are 2 weeks, is called Why Diets Don't Work. Third one is Menu Planning for Success. Fourth one is Why It's Not Just About Diet and Exercise. And the fifth one is Exercise Strategies to Maximize Results. And the very last one is important. It's called Stress Management and Self-Care. And we all need that right now. So if I've said anything today that's resonated with you, let me know. I'm going to be a link to also go ahead and schedule a time to talk to me and book a free 30-minute call for the Healthy Habits Strategy session. So go ahead and do that. And the price, I told you I'd get the price. And don't let the number scare you because there's ways to break it down. But the price for this is for the 3-month condensed session, which includes the free 30-minute call and the free 2-week trial. And you only are charged if after the 2-week trial, of course, you want to continue. Is $749. Now, that's the whole 3-month price. You break that down, and it's you can pay by month, or depending on your financial situation right now. If you're one, like many of us that have been impacted by this, you can pay weekly. I don't care. I want people to really take their health seriously, and you've got the best defense if you're at your healthiest weight and you're not suffering from a bunch of chronic illnesses. For anything, not just what's going on here, colds, flus, anything. So I just wanted to come in and talk to you about how everything's going, and I look forward to seeing your comments. I'm not seeing a bunch just on this on my live feed here. I see some, but I saw some other likes and things coming in, and so I'll answer all of you after I get off the live and later today. I gotta get a little bit more work done since I'm the only one working right now in the house. But anyway, I just wanted to check in with everyone, and I will be back next week with some other tips of the week. I want everyone to stay home and stay safe, and try to stay as positive as possible during all this. And I'll see you then. Have a great weekend.